Any examples used are for illustrative purposes only and do not take into account your particular investment objectives, financial situation, or needs, and may not be suitable for all investors. It is not intended to predict the performance of any specific investment and is not a solicitation or recommendation of any investment strategy. Welcome to the Your Family Bank Show with your host, Larry McClain. Larry and the Your Family Bank team seek to educate Americans just like you by providing real strategies for protecting and growing their hard-earned money. Get set for a show full of economic news and financial information affecting your bottom line. Larry wants you to reach the financial freedom you've worked so hard for. So now let's start the show. Here's Larry McClain.
Hey, good morning, everyone, or afternoon, whenever you listen to our podcast here, Your Family Bank. We're so glad that you're on listening to us today. We appreciate it, or tonight. My name is Larry McClain, founder of Your Family Bank, and we're here, try to be here every single week to give you some great information in the financial world, to give you some information that can help you make money, number one, number two, save money, and number three, protect money. And so we're kind of going to talk about that a little bit today on what's going on out there in the world. I mean, it's crazy right now. I mean, it's almost February, and it's almost February, right? We're close to February. Matt, you there, buddy?
Hey, Larry. Yeah, I'm here, and I kind of think I know what day it is. But yeah, we're as of this time that we're sitting down together, it's almost the month of February.
Almost. Well, February the 1st is my birthday, so Matt, don't forget that. I was looking for a big present to come my way on February the 1st. So I appreciate that. If you'll go ahead and get that out in the mail, so I make sure I get it on time. I always tell my daughter, she's always about a week late. She always teaches, for, how long has she been my daughter? Her whole life, and she still cannot get my date right. But anyway, it is what it is. So she never forgets. She's just always late, but that's who she is anyway. So that's kind of works out.
Well, a happy birthday, Larry.
Thanks, man. I appreciate it. I like having them birthdays, brother. That's for sure, because I don't like the alternative of not having them for sure. So,
absolutely.
All right. So is your 401k an asset or is it a liability? Well, I don't know, Matt. We're going to talk about that, unlocking the power of your retirement savings. So welcome to the show. You can reach out at us at 904-940-9555, or certainly you can go on our website, yourfamilybank.org, and put your information in and contact us. We can contact you that way.
And now for some financial wisdom. It's time for the quote of the week.
A man only learns by two things. One is reading, and the other is association with smart people. Now, I would think, who the heck would say that? Well, guess what? Will Rogers said that. Think about that. Will lived between 1879 and 1935, right? I guess he went through the Depression back in the day. But Will Rogers said that, man, associate yourself. I heard this guy, Charlie Tremendous Jones. He was a motivational speaker, and he said the only difference between you this year and next year will be the people that you meet and the books that you read. And that's a lot of truth to that, Matt. I guarantee you, right? So I try to read at least parts of a book every single week myself to get some wisdom. And usually I certainly try to read the Bible every single day, and that gives us wisdom for sure. So I think he was right in that, the people that you meet and the books that you read. So why should we consider replacing the bonds in your retirement account with fixed index annuities? Well, according to the recent Harris poll, the majority of Americans are still concerned about 2023 bank failures, the U.S. economy, inflation, and the looming threat of a recession, which I don't think we're ever a threat. I think we're definitely in it for sure. What do you think, Matt?
Yeah, it's funny because there are a lot of the ways that they traditionally measure recessions don't necessarily read that we are, but boy, yeah, you look around and it's just the everyday struggles that people are going through. It definitely feels like we are. So yeah, I'm kind of right there with you on that.
Yeah, it was funny. I was in Springfield, Missouri, last week speaking to Cody Askin's group 1%. And when I was there, I always like to ask the question to people, especially young people, you know, what is the oldest city in the United States? And it's amazing. Most people don't know this. It has nothing to do with inflation, but most people don't know that the oldest city in the United States is St. Augustine, Florida, and that's where our office is here at World Golf Village. But I remember asking a receptionist there, and she told me she thought it was New York because all the immigrants came over on the boat, so she figured that must be the oldest city as far as the oldest city in the United States. But the great thing about it that Ponce de Leon was looking for the Fountain of Youth, by the way, it's here in St. Augustine. And ladies and gentlemen, I'm 137 years old, so that Fountain of Youth absolutely works a little bit down here. You jump in that thing twice a week, and you end up like this. So pretty good deal on myself, 137, right? So, Matt, that's what we do down here, man. We just like jump in that Fountain of Youth and make us youthful, right?
Yeah, I mean, Larry, you know, you don't look a day over 136. So
I know, buddy. Isn't amazing? Isn't it amazing? I'm doing really good, right? So, all right. So exactly how safe is money that you have in the banks? Boy, we get a lot of calls on that. Or in a bank CDs. Well, effective on March 26, 2020, the Board of Governors of the Federal Reserve reduced reserve requirement ratios on all net transaction accounts to 0%. Oh gosh. Eliminating reserve requirements on all depository institutions. So what does that mean? Well, that means that they don't have to have the reserves to back up those monies on deposit. So the insurance companies that we work with that, number one, issue fixed index annuities have a 100% reserve requirement. This means that your money is invested must be backed up dollar for dollar in reserves just in case people wanted their money back. They've got to have that money there available for those people to get their money back. Fixed index annuities provide investors with market-like gains without the market risk. How much of your savings are you willing to lose? And that's a great question to ask. How much are you willing to lose? Most people will say none, right? As we look at this. And with a fixed index annuity, your money is 100% protected. The worst you can do on an investment is perform at zero, meaning that you cannot lose your money. Zero is your hero. I've said that and heard that many, many years now that, you know what, I'm not concerned return on my money is return of my money. And if the market goes backwards, I want to still not lose any money. And that's what that fixed index annuity enables us to do. Because of the reserve of the requirement, your money is more protected when it's with an insurance company versus the bank. True statement. Matter of fact, in the Great Depression, when there was a run on the banks, the industry that brought the banks back was the insurance industry. Was to help the banks get back solvent back in the Great Depression. So during the global financial crisis in 2008, which I went through that with my clients, fixed index annuities emerged as a safe haven for investors. As stock markets plummeted and traditional investment vehicles faltered, individuals who had allocated a portion of their portfolios into FIAs, fixed index annuities, found themselves to be more secure position. You know, one of the things that we pride ourselves here at Your Family Bank and First Financial Education Centers is two things. Number one, you know, none of our clients ever run out of money. They've never run out of money, which is a great tribute to what we do. And the other side of the fence is that we don't lose a lot of money for our clients. And at the end of the day, we're usually making anywhere from 5, 6, 7, 8% for our clients going forward. Now, interest rates are up a little bit. CDs are up a little bit. They are going back down a little bit. But for investors who own annuities prior to 2008, 2009 downturn, their annuity contracts protected the principal invested in their annuity. Meanwhile, the S&P 500 lost 46% of its value from October 2007 through March of 2009. So, what we didn't take was that 46% loss with our clients with the annuities that they had in their portfolio. Now, I don't think you should everything be invested in fixed index annuities, just like you shouldn't have everything fixed in any investment, if you will. But many people choose to allocate 30 to 50% of their retirement savings in a personal pension product, sometimes more not depleting, for their specific situation. So what we're saying is that, maybe, you should have at least 30 to 50% of your portfolio in a fixed index annuity. So if the market does take a downturn, you're not going to lose your principal. And if the market does well, guess what? You can still get market-like returns without that risk. Some fixed index annuities also have bonuses that immediately increase your account value. You could be receiving a 10 to 20% return on your investment the day you replace your bonds. Now think about that, Matt. Today you've got, let's say, $200,000 in your bond portfolio, and all of a sudden you replace that bond portfolio with a fixed index annuity that gives you a bonus here, 20%. Think about that. That's $20,000 that are $40,000 depending on how much you invest. That's cash money that goes that you're getting interest on now. That's a pretty good deal, buddy. I guarantee you, right?
That's absolutely right. I mean, who couldn't do with an extra, $40,000 in their retirement vehicle, whatever vehicle that might be. In this case, a fixed indexed annuity, and that's money that can grow your investment and then end up paying you more in your retirement years. I think that's a great deal, if you ask me.
Yeah, I know one of the companies that we use is Nationwide here that we work with, and Nationwide does a fantastic job. They have some bonus arrangements depending on age and things of that nature, but boy, they're just a great name, a great company, and boy, has a great product. And ladies and gentlemen, index annuities, fixed index annuities, they're kind of like cars. Every year in the financial world, if you will, they have new products that come out, right? And these new products have new bells, new whistles, and create that benefits for the clients. A lot of times, we have some clients that have older annuities that we do an analysis on. Sometimes we can, move those into a better situation for our client. In this case, maybe pick up a 10 to 20% bonus on that can really give a jump start to your retirement, especially if you're not retired. And number two, if you are, maybe you've taken some loss in the markets and things of that nature. You can make up some of that situation by getting a bonus. But anyway, you can create a retirement income stream that you cannot outlive. They can also grow, allowing you to leave your money to your beneficiaries. So, a lot of people say, well, how in the world can you do that if you get a lifetime income? Well, think about the Social Security for a second. We'll probably talk a little bit more about that in a minute, but your Social Security, you get into Social Security and, it's a set amount that you get each and every year, depending on the quarters and how much money you contributed and all those things. But at the end of the day, you may get a cost of living raise. And we got one about 3% or 2% this year. We got 8% last year, if you will. But pretty much you that money's going to come to you each and every month. Well, guess what? Setting up an income, especially that you can't outlive, using that those annuities can do the exact same thing for you and create that income, and can go up if the market goes up. You can also increase that and leave money to your heirs, and that's if that's what you want to do, right? So generating income from a FIA also eliminates the need to withdraw funds from your other retirement savings account, which allows your money to grow without downward pressure from regular withdrawals, and that helps. The old 60-40 program was 60% stocks and 40% bonds. The new 60-40 program is 60% stocks and 40% fixed index annuities. Why would they do that? Again, you can create, number one, some income that you can't outlive on that portion. Number two, you can absolutely create a growth in that account without taking the risk of principal, which is most important thing is because you've worked all your life, you're a nest egg. You don't want to take chances on losing that. But if you got 40% of that in a fixed index account, guess what? That you're going to be able to put, be protected and not lose if the market takes a huge downturn. The bond replacement allows you to take a larger percentage of risk and fees off the table in just one move. Because guess what? Bonds are at risk, and also you're paying management fees and cost and fees inside those accounts, especially if it's a bond fund. So this is much more market efficient and fee efficient strategy than what most money managers are implementing for their clients today. So, if that's you, give us a call here at the office at 904-940-9555 and let us talk to you about it. Just let us maybe do a review and give a second opinion and give you an idea. There's no charge for you for our listeners on the podcast. No charge for you whatsoever to give us a call and to look at that. Or you can visit our website at yourfamilybank.org and certainly schedule an appointment through that situation. We're going to help our listeners who get in touch with us this week and help them compare personal pension options so they don't have to spend their retirement worrying about, what happens to the volatile stock market. Our number one goal is to help our clients make informed financial decisions that leave them feeling confident about taking the next step into retirement. And that's most importantly, we talk about, of course, this weekend was football for NFL. And I think everybody was pulling for the Lions for sure. I think everybody out there, unless you're a San Francisco fan, was pulling for the Lions. And of course they did not win. But at the end of the day, we talk about football. We talk about in the red zone, right? We talk about in that red zone. Well, where is the red zone? Well, there's a red zone in retirement too. I call it the first 5 to 10 years, especially 5 years before retirement and 5 years after retirement. That's not when you want to take losses. And think about this: if you're in a 401k and you're out there and you're taking some risk, and God forbid, 5 years out of retirement, you start taking losses. Well, guess what? Sometimes that creates a situation, and it certainly did in 07 and 08, where people couldn't retire because a lot of people lost 46% of their portfolio. And guess what? You got to do almost over 100% to get back to even. And you're not going to do that 1 year. It's going to take some while to get to back there. Now, I'm not saying you shouldn't be in the market, but what I am saying is that let's be diversified. Let's have some safe money, if you will, in the market that makes really, really good sense in regards to that. So 4 mistakes that millions are making with their 401ks, right? So this is coming from Yahoo Finance, and it's saying that most boomers, I'm one, right? Most baby boomers are either retired or on the verge of retirement. Members of this generation now, the ages are from 59 to 77, need to be very careful about the decisions they are making inside their 401k. We want to make you aware of some common mistakes that you can avoid if you want to improve your retirement outlook. Number one, the mistake, not saving enough for your retirement in your future. Man, good night. That's a big one. Matt, we got to save enough, right? I mean, $10 a month ain't going to do it.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, you've got to take your future seriously and make an investment in yourself, pay yourself first, as it were. And you got to make sure you have enough to get the retirement life that you want and make that a reality.
Absolutely. So the solution is, whenever possible, boomers should max out their 401k contributions and take advantage of the catch-up provisions for 2024. And the 401k annual contribution limit is $23,000. But if you're over the age of 50, you can take advantage of additional catch-up up to $7,500 a year in regards to that. So now it's $30,500 that you can put away. Number one, it does two things. Number one, it helps you get to retirement quicker and get your account bigger, and also give you a better tax deduction going forward. And so mistake number two, and this is a big one, investing your money in target date funds. Good night. The solution on that is avoid investing in these underperforming assets that are loaded with fees. Okay. So let's take a look at the last 5 years performance from major issues of target date funds. Okay. So let's look at Vanguard Retirement 2025. It was the last 5 years a minus 6.1%. Vanguard Target 2030 funds minus 2.5. 2035 fund 1.8. 2040 a plus 0.26, not just a quarter of a point in the last 5 years. 2045 7.5 the last 5 years, and Target 2050 10.9% the last 5 years. The fees that we're paying inside those target funds, and people say, well, this is when I'm going to retire, 25 years from now or 20 years from now, whatever the case may be. At the end of the day, we're paying a horrendous amount of fees, but guess what? The performance is not that well at all. And matter of fact, that's not even considered the fees in regards to the return in regards to that. So lack of customization. So target date funds are designed to be one size fits all, which means they will likely not align perfectly with an individual's specific financial goal, risk tolerance, and or their needs. So, and if we look at fees, the target date funds have the highest management fees, which can erode returns over time, especially the long-term investor. Some target date funds may invest in other funds, leading to layers of fees. This can make it challenging, certainly, to understand the total cost of investment in a target dated fund. So what's the advice here? Well, you may want to steer clear of target date funds, especially in regards to what we're talking about, returns and fees. The risk tolerance may not match with your situation and needs, and the level of risk taken by target date funds will not align with every investor's actual risk tolerance. For some, this could result in overconfident, conservative, and aggressive portfolio. The one thing I remember from last week, Matt, and I think I'm correct on this, only 8% of people today get professional advice. 8%. That means 92% of the people out there are either just put money in a 401k and just picking something, or they're talking there to the buddy in the next pew, or, a cubicle, or whatever the case may be. And that's what they're doing. And when they can actually get professional advice that, here at First Financial Education Centers and Your Family Bank, and we have registered investment advisors, can help you design a customized plan for you and reduce those fees going forward, and maybe put you in a safer situation to not take these losses again in the red zone for sure. So let's look at one more mistake: taking withdrawals from the 401k plan. A recent survey found that 1 in 4 boomers have already taken withdrawals from their 401k plan, with the top reason being to pay down debt and cover health care expenses. Boy, this reaches home with Your Family Bank of paying off debt. One of the greatest things I could tell you is that, at the end of the day, the greatest story ever told, Matt, was Jesus Christ. That's for sure. He took 12 men, one loser, and changed the world. I think the second best story is that I accepted him. The third best story is that you and the listener novels could do that too. But the fourth best story is to get everybody we can out of debt. And by doing that, helping people get out of debt, it creates more cash flow in retirement. And so one of the things that we're doing here is that, we're taking money out of that 401k to pay debt, but guess what we're doing? We're also paying taxes and sometimes a penalty to create there's a better way to do that. This can be partially an expensive mistake if you withdraw the money, certainly before 59 and a half, and you will face an early withdrawal penalty. So solution, do everything you can to not take money out of your retirement accounts too early. Albert Einstein once said, compounding interest is the eighth wonder of the world. He also says, he who understands it earns it, and he who doesn't, they pay it. So absolutely, at the end of the day, you want to make sure that if you do want to get out of debt, there's ways of getting out of debt. That's certainly not the best one to do. But being out of debt is a good thing, but there's a better way of doing that. So be careful not to live beyond your means. That's the other thing. You have to have an emergency fund in place that exists with upfront expenses. That's one of the things that, when we designed Your Family Bank and the program that we do with Your Family Bank to show people how to get out of debt in 9 to 10 years, including their mortgage, without spending any additional money than they're spending right now. One of the things that I insisted in is that as we do that, we build an emergency fund, because people are going to have emergencies come up, number one. And number two, they're going to have emotional spending. What is emotional spending? Well, that's going down to the pro shop, and they got that new TaylorMade down there that hits that ball, 10 more yards and hits it straighter and all that kind of good stuff. And it costs $450, right? That's an emotional spend. But guess what? Those things are going to come up along the way in life. And one of the things that I learned in a lot of different ways, but there's storms that come into your life. There can be storms in relationships. There can be storms in marriages. There can be storms in relationship with family and storms in relationship with friends. And there also could be storms with health, the situations that fall, in the health situation. And many people, deal with that. And but there also could be storms in financial situations. And I've seen that more prevalent today in regards to what's happening today, because you're looking at more credit today than we ever had in credit cards, more student loan debt than we've ever had before, mortgages growing, interest rates are growing, and most people do not understand the debt they're paying. I had a client that actually came in my office today, and they have an RV, and they were talking about whether or not they should pay that RV off or not. And the conversation with I think they owed $95,000 on this RV, and they've had it for 8 years. The interest rate they're paying is 4.5%, which is not that high, you think. But when I sit down and I figured out actually what their interest they are actually paying on that, I think they were paying, their payment was, get this, $800 a month. And I figured out their interest they were paying was $400 a month. Now, it doesn't take a rocket science to do this, but I took the interest that they're paying, divided it by what their payment was, and I think it worked out, and my numbers are correct, but I think they were working out, they were paying 52% interest, not 4.5%, Matt. And so when I showed that to the couple, I mean, they couldn't believe it, number one, and we had to do it twice to make sure they understood it. But my point was, paying off that RV because you're paying compounding interest and using money that maybe uses simple interest makes a lot better sense to make that happen. And so the point is that sometimes that we live beyond our means, I get that, but we do want to have an emergency fund. But more importantly than that is being debt-free, either in retirement or before retirement, because I do know 65% of people today that are retired, they're carrying mortgage debt and credit card debt into retirement. And what if, what if we could pay that debt off? What would that do in regards to their mortgage? If you think of $1,000 a month in regards to that, think about this. Let me do my calculator real quick. If you got $1,000 a month, that's $12,000 a year that you're paying in a payment. Let's say, and we're talking about $1,000 a month in a mortgage payment, and you're retired. If you pay that off, that $1,000 a month, and if you use a kind of interest rates right now are hovering around between 4 and 5% on even CD accounts today. I know we can with Schwab, but you'd have to have $240,000 to create that $12,000 a month. So if you pay that, if you pay your house off, Matt, and especially retirement situation, that's like putting $240,000 in an account somewhere at 5%. That's giving you $1,000 a month, because we're saving $1,000 a month in regards to that. That could be huge in retirement, right? So let's go to the last mistake, and this is not seeking professional advice about your hard-earned money. Again, I said, 92% of the people out there today do not seek professional advice, and honest to goodness, that's probably a big mistake, a very, very big mistake. And people think, well, at the end of the day, what does professional advice give you? Well, if you look at professional advice and look at us for a second, we're gonna help you with tax advice, tax strategies that you may or may not know about. How about your legal situation? Thinking about that, will, trust, power of attorneys, all those types of things that need to be in place. Another area that we work with, and of course on the investment side of the fence, and what we do in regards to that. And a lot of times, baby boomers who seek financial advice tend to have bigger 401k balances than those who don't. A recent survey found that participants who have sought the advice of a financial professional had saved an average of $333,000, while others not having advice only had an average of $286,000. So huge difference, way over $50,000 more in retirement. And by the way, at the end of the day, there's other ways. Again, I said a few minutes ago, paying off that house is like having $240,000, and that's tax-free, by the way, whereas in the retirement accounts that we're talking about right now, they're still taxable unless we convert to a Roth. And that may not be a bad idea either, to look at that and see if we haven't done that. So the solution is get in touch with us so we can help you plan for a success retirement. 904-940-9555 or at yourfamilybank.org. If you haven't heard from your advisor lately, please talk to us and get maybe a second opinion on what you're doing. We can help you set up your path to retirement that you can always envision for yourself and your family. So give us a call. Guess what? We can't help you. I want to write a book, and I'm in the midst of writing a book. I'm trying to get it finished, and it's about getting people out of debt and the things we do. And I was thinking about a title for this book, and I think I've came up with one. I can help you if you let me. I can help you if you let me. But you gotta take the first step. You've got to call. You got to get on the website. But I promise you, here's my promise to you. I guarantee you that we'll be able to help you in some situation. Number two, you will absolutely be better off talking to us than not talking to us. And I promise you this, at the end of the day, if you feel that you wasted your time with us, and seriously, if you feel you come to us, you waste your time, I'll buy you the best steak dinner, in your area. Because here's what I do know. I know that we can help most people at the end of the day. So we're going to provide a comprehensive consultation at no cost to our listeners, and there's no obligation on your part. You only do it if it makes sense to you, right? I tell people, Matt, a lot of times, situations I talk to people, I say, if we can put a plan together that makes sense to you, fits in all your comfort levels, not too long, not too short, not too long, not too short, not too hot, not too cold. But if there's a cost, you're okay with that, but it puts you in a lot better financial situation. Would you make some financial changes if it makes sense to you? And you know what? Everybody I talk to, they say, yeah. Now, I also say, listen, it doesn't make sense to make financial changes if you're just saving $10 or $20. That's not worth it. But if it's worth it to do, and we're talking about here, Matt, seriously, in some cases, hundreds of thousands of dollars. You know, I tell people this. Some people have asked us, what do you do, Larry? Well, you know, if we can show people how to get out of debt, in normal cases, not every case, but most cases, we can also create almost $1 million for people in retirement. And that's putting you in the top 3% of America. We're going to help you analyze your financial situation. We're closely going to examine any annuities that you may currently have. We'll discover, you know, exactly how much you're paying in fees and help you cut unnecessary costs in your IRA or 401k or other investment accounts. We're also going to help you with your Social Security planning and determine appropriate time to start taking those benefits and when's the best time to do that. We will compare your current situation, what's possible if you choose to work with us. We're going to show you, here's where you are today, here's where you can be, and you decide if it makes sense to move forward. And if it does, great. And if it doesn't, okay, you got an education and you got some information that I guarantee you that you can use. All right, so we talked about investments. We talked about getting out of debt. Boy, we're talking about a lot of stuff today. We're talking about interest rates and what you're being charged and what you shouldn't charge. Let's talk about Social Security. Let's get into that area a little bit. Here's 3 steps to receive the most on your money for Social Security, because we want to maximize your Social Security. Number 1, step 1, work a minimum of 35 years. The Social Security Administration takes you 35 highest paid years in the labor force into account when calculating your monthly benefit. To be eligible for $45.55 a month, $4,555 a month, you need to have worked for 35 years so that you won't have any zeros in your benefit calculation for the missing years. Number 2, earn an income equivalent to greater than the wage cap. Well, do you know that there's a wage cap when it comes to Social Security taxes? Workers pay taxes on their earnings for Social Security purposes only up to a certain point, and that level varies from year to year. In 2023, the wage cap was $160,000. So income beyond the threshold isn't taxed. So, but to claim the maximum monthly Social Security benefits, your earning must reach or exceed the wage cap for, guess what, 35 years. So step 3, delay your Social Security claim to age 70. You're entitled to your complete monthly benefit based upon your earnings history once you reach full retirement age, which is either 66 or 67 or somewhere between, depending on when you were born. Each year, you delay filing past full retirement age. So if my full retirement age was 67, I didn't take it when I hit 67. I waited to 68 or 69. Each year I wait, my benefit will go up 8%. That's huge, 8% return, right back, more. To snag that maximum Social Security benefit, you must hold off filing until age 70. So you can do that up to age 70. So you can if you're retirement age 66, there's 4 years that you can defer and get 8% per year. Past 70, it does, you don't get any more, so you might as well take it. But at the end of the day, it makes better sense. All right, so collecting $4,555 from Social Security every month during retirement seems nice, but for most seniors, it's unrealistic because they don't have a high enough income to qualify for those maximum benefits. So if the monthly Social Security benefits you're eligible for isn't anywhere close to $4,555, but rather more than line with the current monthly average of $1,827, it doesn't mean you're doomed to a cash-strapped retirement. Don't forget that we can help you establish your own personal pension that you can never outlive. If you need help improving or starting on your income, you need to give us a call at 904-940-9555 or at yourfamilybank.org, yourfamilybank.org, in regards to that. So we talked about fees a little bit ago, Matt. So I'm going to dive into that a little bit here in the last couple of minutes that we have. And talk about, do you know how much you are paying in fees? Okay. So if we take a look at this, number one, we find that most people we meet with do not understand the fees they're paying inside their portfolio retirement accounts. Many are paying excess fees and assets that are underperforming. Fees that affect everyone who is saving for retirement, regardless of how much they're having in their nest egg. It surely affects them all out there. Remember, retirement is about income. It's not about building up the biggest nest egg that you personally can, which that's great, but you want to have that magic number, whatever that magic number is, but it's about the income that you can produce off of the nest egg. That's the most important thing, because guess what? That's what we're going to be living off of. So we help our clients take advantage of fee-efficient strategies while generating safe and predictable income streams that can never be outlived. Do you know that you can establish your own personal pension by replacing bonds that you hold with fixed index annuities while deleting the fees on those bond portfolios in that portion of your portfolio? I mean, it's a win-win in that. I mean, reducing fees, we're moving our assets into a safer arena, if you will, and we can create a lifetime income, which a lot of times are paychecks instead of just paychecks. And I like getting them paychecks. How about you, Matt?
Yeah, that's you want to be able to do the things that you want to do in retirement, and that's how you do it, is with those paychecks. The paychecks are the ones that, meet your obligations, pay the bills, whatever you got to do. And the paychecks are the ones you have fun with. So if you want to, live the retirement that you've dreamed of, you got to have some.
We got to have some fun, man. Come on. You know what? I mean, retirement, no fun is no fun, baby. We got to have some doggone fun in retirement. And so paychecks can create that fun that we can make that happen. So, do you know what your expense ratio is? So we talk about this a lot. Expense ratio formula really is management fees divided by your total investment of the fund. That's kind of tells you what your expense ratio is. And there's some other underlying fees that come with, especially with mutual funds inside that, especially those target date funds we talked about earlier. So, I mean, you need to know. I mean, it's amazing to me that we have clients that come in and, I guess, no fault of theirs, but, also, do you know what you're paying in fees? And they say, I think I'm paying X, right? Or no, I don't know. Or I'm paying this. And once they find out, normally in most cases, and this is probably much, really the majority of people that come in to see us, they're paying a lot more fees than they think they are. And when we show them that and understand, so we look at the fees that you're paying versus the risk that you're taking and the service that you're getting. Now, does that all add up? And most people, in most cases, say, no, it doesn't. And so maybe reducing those fees and getting a safer situation for retirement makes better sense. And in most cases, it does. But guess what? You don't know unless you sit down with someone and look at the numbers. I mean, the numbers tell the story. People lie, numbers don't, if you will. So you got to make sure you do that.
It's This Week in History.
February the 3rd, historical moment. On this day, 1870, the 15th Amendment to the Constitution was ratified. The amendment guaranteed the right of Americans to vote regardless of race, color, or previous condition of servitude. February the 4th, birthday on this date, 1913, American civil rights activist Rosa Parks was born. The United States had honored the First Lady of Civil Rights and the mother of the freedom movement. Ms. Parks got on the bus and sat up front and would not get off the bus, okay? And she changed history for sure. Birthday on this date, 1959, professional football player Lawrence Taylor was born, considered to be one of the best players ever played in the National Football League. Taylor spent his entire career with the New York Giants and went on to become the two-time Super Bowl champion and three-time Pro Bowler and the league MVP in 1986. February the 5th, birthday on this date, 1939, legendary Baseball Hall of Famer Hank Aaron was born, nicknamed Hammered Hank. Aaron played 23 seasons in Major League Baseball with the Milwaukee and Atlanta Braves. He was later inducted into the Baseball Hall of Fame in 1982. On July 20, 1976, Aaron hit his 755th career home run to put him on top of the all-time home run list. The record was later broken by Barry Bonds in 2007. And I think when I believe I'm right on this, I think Hank Aaron was in the stands when that happened. I may be wrong on that, but I think that he was there. The 25-time All-Star and National League MVP in 1957 passed away in his sleep at 86. Well, he was there. So, and he just died 2 years ago, January 22nd, 2021, in his home in Atlanta. Birthday on this day, 1942, former U.S. officer and NFL quarterback Roger Staubach was born. Boy, he was Staubach, played for the NFL career for the Dallas Cowboys from 69 to 79. I remember that well, and went on to become a two-time Super Bowl champion and named the Pro Bowler six times in regards to that. So, Matt, just to kind of, man, we had a lot of information today. Good night. I know, ladies and gentlemen, we just loaded you up today with a lot of great information, but can I tell you something? We certainly can break it down for you and help you out. If you'll give us a call here at Your Family Bank First Financial Education Centers at 904-940-9555, or go on our website, yourfamilybank.org. We want to help you. We'd love giving this information out for you, but how we can really help you is give us a call. And you know what? At the end of the day, that's what you need to do. Give us a call here. Let us help you and show you, I think, a great situation for retirement or getting ready to retire, or in retirement or getting out of debt. Maybe you're 30 years old and, you got a mortgage, you got a car, you got credit cards, you got, student loan debt. Maybe you're a professional that's got student loan debt, a doctor, a dentist, whatever the case may be. Give us a call. Man, if you're a pastor or a staff member at a church, another big area that we work all over the United States on in helping pastors and staff members get huge discounts and create tax-free retirement for themselves. So if you find yourself, if you're retired or getting ready to retire or in debt, or that you have student loan debt or just mortgage debt, guys, ladies, give us a call. Let us help you. That's what we do. That's what we do every single day. And we're not good at everything, but we're really, really good in what we're talking about today. And I just want to give out a shout, my buddy Danny Hamilton in San Antonio, Texas. I know Danny listens to the show all the time, and I would just give you a good shout, buddy. He used to be my roommate, and he was the best man at my wedding. I think he's got 52 automobiles at his house. He's a big Corvette guy, big racing guy, but shout out to you, Danny. Matt, thank you, buddy. Had a great day today. God bless you, buddy. We appreciate all the help you gave me today.
Yeah, thank you, Larry. No problem at all. I'm always glad to do it, sir, and look forward to doing it again next time.
All right, man. Talk to you. Bye-bye now. God bless you all.
Thanks for listening to the Your Family Bank Show with your host, Larry McLean. You deserve to work with an experienced financial professional who has a track record of helping clients exceed their financial goals by helping them eliminate debt and implementing safe and proven strategies. To schedule your free, no-obligation consultation with Larry, visit yourfamilybank.org. Fixed annuities, including multi-year guaranteed rate annuities, are not designed for short-term investments and may be subject to restrictions, fees, and surrender charges as described in the annuity contract. Guarantees are backed by the financial strength and claims-paying ability of the issuer. Any bonuses mentioned may be subject to additional restrictions and regulations based on the offering annuity company. You may not receive the bonuses if the contract is fully surrendered or if traditional annuitization payments are taken. And if the policy is partially surrendered, it could result in a partial loss of bonuses. Because these are bonus annuities, they may include higher surrender charges, longer surrender charge periods, lower caps, higher spreads, or other restrictions that are not included in similar annuities that don't offer a bonus feature.